So you're wanting to start recording videos or audio at your computer. The problem is the audio sounds like this. What's your next step? Where do you go from here? What kind of microphone do you need to buy to improve your audio?
The professional USB condenser microphone from Nasum sounds like this and comes in at less than $50. So we're going to dig into this microphone today and see if we think it'll be the right solution for you. And then we'll compare it against kind of my old standby microphone that's almost in this price range. So what comes in the box with this Nasum USB professional condenser microphone? Well, not a whole lot really, but there really isn't a need for a whole lot. You've got a little bit of an instruction manual in here. It's pretty well packed in this nice solid foam. You've got a foam windscreen on it. And then the microphone itself is already assembled. You can see it comes with a nice, simple, clean stand, and it's really quite heavy and feels pretty robust. It's all metal, and I really prefer this design of stand as opposed to a plastic tripod leg. The last thing in the box is just your USB cord, which is pretty good in length. I would say it's maybe 10 to 12 feet long. When considering the build of the Nasum microphone, again, I have to say it feels pretty nice, pretty robust. I would say the design is a fairly elegant design that could fit in just about any situation. It does have a nice modern look to it. I don't feel like it'd be out of place sitting on a desk in an office, and at the same time, I don't feel like it'd be out of place sitting on a desk that's set up for gaming. So either way, I think it's a design that's pretty universal and pretty clean, and I'm quite pleased with it. The materials all feel really good. It's all metal. There's no plastic of note on it at all. And yeah, the only real complaint that I have about the design of this microphone is that the front and the back look nearly identical, and with a cardioid pickup pattern like it claims to have, you really need to know which end's the front because they're going to sound different from different angles, which we will try out here momentarily. But all in all, I'd say the build it passes inspection. So let's do a couple of sound tests, shall we? Now, currently the microphone is sitting on my desk and it's about a foot away from my mouth, I would say. This is probably, if you're getting this microphone, the normal usage situation that I think most people would be in. Now that being said, we're going to compare it. We're going to do these tests and we're going to compare it to my Audiotechnica ATR2100. I've had this mic for years. I think I bought it, 4 years ago for about $65, and it's been a pretty good performer in my opinion. The one thing that immediately I can tell you I like the Nasum over the Audio-Technica in is that this one came with one of those cheap little plastic tripod stands, and I just hated it. And so I couldn't even find it for the review. I think I threw it away. So I've been using this one on a boom arm, and so when we see the comparisons, that's how this one's going to be used as opposed to the stand on the Nasum. And yeah, so I just wanted to give you that warning ahead of time. So again, this whole time I've been speaking with the microphone on my desk, and it's been about 12 inches away from my mouth. All right, so I've got the ATR2100 hooked up now, and we're going to try to simulate those same things that we just did. You can see it sticking right down here. Now it's on the boom arm, so I'm going to have to do it just a little bit differently, and there might be some weird noises that kind of come in as I'm moving the boom arm around or removing the microphone from the boom arm. But this is what it sounds like if it would be matching the on the desk stand situation. Again, I don't have that stand for the ATR any longer. Picking the microphone up off the desk, now my mouth is about 4 to 6 inches away from the microphone, and this is really in the documentation what they recommend. So they say about 6 inches away is the recommended distance to pick up the best audio quality. Now we're going to go ahead and move up the ATR2100, and this is when I was holding the Nasum microphone. This is about how far away it was from my mouth, so again about 4 to 6 inches, and this is what it sounds like. Now I'm going to get really close to the microphone, and this is what it would sound like if you're using the proximity effect. And you can see I'm really, really close, and that usually makes mics sound a little bit different, but that's probably a pretty unique use case in that situation. Here's me getting really close with the ATR2100. Again, this is probably a weird use case situation, but worth testing out. The next test that I want to do, let me get my wire out here. The next test that I want to do is I want to rotate the microphone. So this does say that it's a cardioid pickup pattern, which means that it should pick up better in front than behind. But let's go ahead and rotate it around and see if we can hear any differences when I'm talking. Does it sound different now that it's facing away from me? And then we'll come back around 360 degrees to the initial starting point. I'm also going to rotate it forward. So if you wanted to point the top of the microphone directly at your mouth, this is what it would sound like. And then if we wanted to point it completely away from our mouth, this is what it would sound like. So now I've removed the Audiotechnica from the boom arm, and that way I can rotate it around like I did the Nasum microphone. I'm not 100% sure what the pickup pattern is on this microphone. I've never found it to be too directional myself, but there I've rotated it 360 degrees. I don't know if you notice any difference or not. And then I'll go ahead and I will tilt it towards my mouth. So now it's pointing directly at my mouth, and then I can point it completely away from my mouth. And that's what the Audiotechnica microphone sounds like. Now that we've tested the pickup patterns of each microphone, let's do a quick test to see what it sounds like if the microphone is sitting on your desk and you're typing. So here is the Nasum microphone, and it's sitting right next to my keyboard on my desk, and here's me typing. So here is the Audiotechnica microphone, again as if it were sitting on my desk. And here's a quick typing test. I do have a mechanical keyboard with the MX blue switches. So here is my typing test on the Audiotechnica microphone. So now I've got the Nasum microphone up on my boom arm, and here's my typing test with it up off of my desk and a little bit further away from my keyboard. And then as we notice, the Audiotechnica microphone does seem to have some sort of a pickup pattern where it emphasizes what's coming out of the top of the microphone. So it must be some sort of cardioid pickup pattern facing from the top. So here is the microphone on the boom arm closer to my mouth, and now here's me typing on the keyboard. Now, just for fun, because I've got it and I haven't learned to play it yet, but I think it'd be fun to do a little test with it, is I have a ukulele here, and I'm just going to play through the different notes here real quick and do a couple of strums on each microphone so we can see how they sound like if you're interested in maybe recording a little bit of music with one of these microphones.
Okay, so it's conclusion time, and before we get into the final thoughts on the Nasum USB condenser microphone, I just thought I'd record another little tidbit of audio here just straight from my Logitech C920 webcam, which is the one I recommend for most people. And you can see The whole point of this video was if your audio currently sounds like this and all you have is webcam or built-in audio on like your laptop, say, this is probably about what it currently sounds like.
But for only $50, you can pick up the Nasum USB condenser professional microphone, and you're going to get a significantly better audio quality than you are probably getting from a built-in internal microphone on your laptop or straight out of your webcam. So it's with this in mind that I can pretty much wholeheartedly recommend the Nasum microphone as long as it's got the feature set that you're looking for. If you don't need XLR, and if you're happy with it just sitting on your desk on the stand, which is a very well built stand, all in all, I think the build is really good. I think the sound is perfectly adequate for the price range. I would say that the Audio-Technica microphone maybe sounds like a little bit livelier, especially when I was listening to like the ukulele. But really, that's a pretty special use case scenario. If you're just wanting to record better audio for video conferencing, for voiceovers on video, for like this when you're talking into your webcam, then I think the Nasum is a pretty solid choice if you are in the market and you only want to spend about $50, especially since the Audio-Technica ATR2100 has now been updated, so you can't get the model that I have really anymore unless you want to buy used. And the new model, the ATR2100X, costs $100, so it's double the price, and for that, I don't think you're probably going to be getting double the value if all you're doing is simple voice recording stuff. So it's with that in mind that yeah, I recommend the Nasum microphone. It's well built. I like the stand way better than those cheap plastic tripod stands that most microphones seem to come with that are under $100. So yeah, if you're needing to improve your audio, I'd say give the Nasum a look. And with that being said, thanks for staying with me. I'm Mr. Arrett, and I'm going to be doing lots of audio related reviews, whether it's microphone, headphones, speakers, things like that. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, please subscribe. And if you found this video useful, I'd appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. Until next time.